Hey reseller friends, welcome to the latest edition of Seller's Corner, your go-to source for all things reselling. I'm Erin, product specialist at Vendoo, and today we're talking about Mercari for beginners. We'll give you the full breakdown on creating an account, what you can sell, best listing processes, shipping, returns, and everything you need to know to start making sales on Mercari. Make sure you stay until the end because you won't want to miss these gems. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We publish content all the time, and it's all related to Vendoo product tips, community updates, and information on how to scale and grow your resale business. Let's get into it. So what is Mercari? Mercari is a rapidly growing marketplace. It originated in Japan and it actively reports approximately 20 million active users in the United States. That is some rapid growth. Mercari's mission is to create a place where everyone can buy and sell with ease, and you will be surprised to see exactly how easy it is to sell on Mercari. What also sets Mercari apart is the very wide range of things that you can sell there. While clothing and apparel certainly do well, the top sellers are actually electronics, toys and games, home decor, beauty, and everything in between. If you are an eBay seller, Mercari is a great platform to sell everything that you sell on eBay on. I like to think of Mercari as a mini eBay. It has a much smaller audience, but it also is a lot less maintenance, and it's a great place to cross your inventory with. If you're a Vendoo user, you can cross-list your items to Mercari in literally just a few clicks. So there's no reason not to get on there. And in this video, we'll teach you everything you need to know to get started. As we said, you can list everything on Mercari, especially your electronics and media, toys and games, clothing and fashion, and home and garden. You can create a Mercari account in literally just seconds, and you can access it via the web or the Mercari mobile app. Most everything can be sold on Mercari, excluding anything illegal, intangible, perishable, hazardous, etc. Make sure you check out their terms of service if you have any questions about what can be listed there. As far as the listing form goes, it just couldn't be more straightforward. The components of the Mercari listing are photos, title, description, price, and Mercari even has a few smart tools. On Mercari, as in everywhere else, for your titles and descriptions, the more detail, the better. The more words that you have that are relevant to your item and describing it increases your potential for your item to show up in more search results. It should be noted that on Mercari, your entire description is searchable in addition to the title. I would also always recommend when you're selling anywhere that you take a look at how their search works, what their categories, filters, and subcategories are, because this will help you with best practices on how to reach more buyers with your items. What should also be noted is that Mercari allows buyers to save searches, right? So if I commonly search for Lululemon Aligns in size 8, then I can save that search, and when someone posts a relevant item, I will be notified. So you have a built-in specific audience to your items potentially before you even list them. And that's a tool that'll really help you to make more sales at all. On your Mercari form, it's going to be everything that you'd expect. You can upload your photos, create a title, description, a few drop downs with subcategories and item details. And then there are two smart tools. Smart pricing on Mercari allows you to create a starting price and a floor price. So for example, I could start this stunning blazer at $45 and that's what it would be listed for. But if I can also set a reserve price, and that could be $30. So over time and with likes, Mercari would gradually decrease the active listing price from my starter of $45 to $30, notifying likers each step of the way. That smart pricing feature is a built-in way to help you make sales. The second is smart offers, and smart offers are pretty cool as well. Under that same scenario, if I listed this jacket for $45, I could set my private bottom line to $25. So what would happen is if any buyer made an offer at 25 or higher, it would be automatically accepted. And if any buyer made an offer for under 25, Mercari would send an automatic counter offer at 25. That's a way of letting Mercari handle offers for you and make sales for you in respect to your bottom line profit for your items. Those are both optional features. You'll find them on the listing form for each and every item. You can use them on an item if you'd like, but I highly recommend it because it in some ways automates your pricing structure and your offer structure in positive ways to help you make more sales. Speaking of Mercari tools to help you make more sales, you can send offers to likers on Mercari. Your offer must be at least 10% off of your asking price, and you cannot send another offer on that item unless it's at least 10% below your previous offer. And that includes anyone. If Sally likes this listing and I send her 10% off and then Sue likes it, I can't even send that same 10% offer to Sue. Any offers on the item have to be at least 10% lower than any other offer to anyone on the item, which is a little unique, and I think only Mercari does that. You can also promote your items on your Mercari a handful a day, which promotes them in the the search feed. What I really recommend though, rather than having to lower every single offer on an item and promote only a handful, is I recommend consistent delisting and relisting. On other marketplaces where you can promote items or share items, you have ways, whether they're paid or free, you have ways to get your items advanced in search results and news feeds and in front of more buyers. Mercari's tools when it comes to that are very, very limited. So nothing can replicate the benefits of a delist and relist. I mean a true delist and relist. Totally deleting that item and reposting a brand new first time listing. Thankfully, if you use Vendoo, Vendoo has a bulk delist and relist feature, which is a game changer when it comes to Mercari. I can literally promise you if you start using this, you're going to see so much more exposure and probably sales. And as far as your daily maintenance goes, other than checking your inbox for potential offers and questions, that's about it. Mercari is definitely low maintenance compared to literally everywhere else. If Mercari is sounding too good to be true, it just got a little bit better because the selling fees are very, very low as well. For a rough and high estimate, you can in your head consider Mercari fees to be approximately 14%, but in most cases, they're actually a little lower. This is how Mercari fees work. There are two fees at play. The first is a selling fee. There is a 10% selling fee on Mercari, and that includes the shipping price. So if I sold this for $20 and the buyer paid $7.40 shipping via USPS, then the entire sale price would technically be $27.40, and the selling fee would be $2.74. That's part one. The second is the payment processing fee, and that is 2.9% plus 50 cents. So if I sold this for $20, again, assuming it shipped via USPS, a 1 pound, I would make approximately $16.18. I'm telling you a rough estimate is 14% because you have 10% plus the 2.9% and 50 cents. That does not add up to 14%. It's actually a little bit less in most cases, but estimating high will only help you because you'll make even more money than you expected. If you're interested in a more detailed breakdown on Mercari fees, we will put in the caption an article and video that we created exclusively to discuss fees. Speaking of fees, how do you get paid? There are a lot of options for redeeming your balance. First, your balance becomes available within 3 days if the buyer doesn't rate, sooner if they do. So if I send this off, once the buyer receives it and they rate the order, I can get paid instantly. If they do not rate the transaction, then 3 days after delivery, at that point, my funds will become available. You can do an instant transfer or a direct deposit. An instant transfer gets your money instantly, although it will cost you $3. A direct deposit takes 2 to 6 business days depending on your bank, but there is no fee so long as you are redeeming at least $10. If you're redeeming under $10, the fee is $2. So I definitely recommend direct deposit. Wait a couple days to get your money, but don't pay the $3 fee for instant. You do, of course, have both options available. Let's talk about shipping on Mercari, because you as a Mercari seller will have a lot of choices. First, you can choose whether you would like to offer free shipping and pay for it yourself, or charge shipping. Of course, they recommend that you do free shipping. If you do, your listings have a little free banner. Everyone loves free. If you can swing that in your margins, then of course I encourage you to try it. However, a lot of people cannot, and especially if you're using Mercari labels, because they are a little bit pricey compared to other marketplaces. So a lot of sellers will just charge the shipping. Once you have made that determination based on your individual items, your expected return, the next big decision you have to make is whether you will ship with Mercari or ship on your own. If you ship with Mercari, you will need an estimate of the weight at the time of listing, and from there you will get a label when the item sells. At the time that you list, you have the option to choose between USPS, UPS, and FedEx, depending on what you're selling. And of course, the exact services within those will depend on the weight of the item. But once it sells, the label's available for download on your sold page, and it also goes to your email. You print it out, you put it on, and it's out the door. If you choose to ship on your own, you have to offer free shipping. There is no way to ship on your own but charge an arbitrary flat rate. That's not a thing on Mercari. So if you're shipping on your own, you're not using Mercari labels, you are also paying for that shipping. When you ship on your own, you'll use a service like Pirate Ship, Shippo, or Sendle. You will create your own shipping label, and you'll make sure that you update that tracking information in Mercari, which is very important, so the package starts tracking and you can get paid. There are pros and cons to both methods, and let's explore those a little bit. If you choose to ship with Mercari labels, it's certainly easier. You don't necessarily have to weigh and measure items ever. You just need a rough estimate. It's very convenient as the label comes to your email, and you'll also enjoy Mercari seller protection, and that cancels out the need for insurance because they will potentially protect that shipment up to its sale value. If you ship on your own, you might, however, get a better rate. The Mercari labels are about a little pricey. So if you choose to ship on your own, you might be able to get a better rate on Pirate Ship than you could on Mercari. Again, if you ship on your own, however, you do have to offer free shipping. You'll also want to be mindful that you will not get the same level of Mercari protection, so you might check what insurance is available for your own shipment. I personally use Mercari labels for the convenience and the protection. That said, if I were offering free shipping, I would probably ship on my own, because if I were offering free shipping and I had to pay the Mercari label price, that would personally damage my profit too much. Those are some pros and cons to explore when you're deciding your strategy. And feel free to try different things and switch them up. There's no right or wrong here, and I've heard that things work for different sellers differently. So check out those options and see which would work best for you. And let's talk about Mercari returns and customer service. Like most reselling marketplaces, returns are not allowed on Mercari. That is, unless the item was not received, not authentic, or not as described. If someone would like to request a return on Mercari, they have to do so through Mercari, not through a message to you, but contacting customer support to try to dispute the claim. In the event that a buyer is trying to dispute and get a return for their item, Mercari will message you explaining and asking for your feedback. It's not a Poshmark situation where you can go back and forth. You will submit anything, any evidence, pictures, or information to Mercari, as will they, and they will probably win regardless. Mercari really values their customers. It's what keeps the platform available. They're not necessarily known for having the most prompt customer service, but do not let that frustrate you. Returns are a part of business, and despite if their policy explicitly allows it, they want happy customers, and so do you. So the platform can continue to grow and that you can continue to sell there and make more money. And finally, I always like to end with a checklist. As a Mercari seller, what is your daily checklist? Here you go. Number 1, list 5+ new items. Number 2, delist and relist a handful of items. Number 3, use Mercari's promote feature to promote a handful of eligible listings that have interest. And number 4 is send offers to likers. So anyone who's liked your item, make sure you send them a special offer. These pop up as a message in their inbox, putting it right in front of them rather than it getting lost in a sea of notifications. For more resources about Mercari, check out some of these links in the caption, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We publish reseller content all the time. Do you sell on Mercari? Drop your Mercari shop name below. I'll see you next time, reseller friends. Happy selling!